All right, in this video, I'm going to tell you how I stopped from letting social media posts get me all worked up and upset. We're organic like the planet here. As it is, as it comes out. What is it? Unfiltered. Here we go. Before I do that real quick, if this is the first time that you're here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. My name is Albert Lopez. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. That way you get notifications. I post all kinds of stuff right here. I'm just sharing my journey. And what happened today is something I want to see if it'll help. Hopefully it'll help somebody. I saw a post today. One of the accounts that I follow, he does auto detailing. I follow a couple auto detailers just because I like cleaning my truck and I get some tips and tricks from them. So he was posting something where he was showing off his work, what he was doing. And some Grammy came up to him. We're talking like senior. She came up to him and started asking him like ICE questions and where were you born and do you speak English and are you supposed to be working here in the United States? Where are your parents from? And all kinds of stuff. And whether it was a skit, which it didn't look like, but a really good actress and actor, you're not supposed to know that it's a skit, right? But anyways, whether it was true or not, I don't know. But I got caught up in that. It was a little clip. He ended up pulling it off. He did a great, informative auto detailing, a Tesla, and all that advanced stuff that they do, clay work and all that stuff, way beyond what anything I would try. But in any case, I didn't get like level 10 worked up and upset, but it's just the fact that I was sitting there going, the fact that it took up some of my mental real estate is what bugged me afterwards. Let me take you through kind of what happened. I'm sitting there going, man, what if that would happen to me? Not so much the whole, like, what the question was, but the fact that she was being, like, metiche, she was being nosy, and it's like, lady, mind your business. I get it. You're looking out for your country and all that good stuff, and your opinion, all that, aside from all that. It's like, what would I have done? There's where the catch-up is. What would I have done without, like, being rude, staying, like, with my keeping my values, keeping my conduct, and just being legit, not being a jerk, but also too like hey, I know what you're asking. Come on, why are you questioning me? I already told you that we're all good, and should you even be asking? All this is kind of stuff that I was going through my head as I'm sitting here on different red lights in between orders. I was doing Uber Eats today, and then it got to the point where I was like, what am I doing? And I was like, did this just happen to you, Al? Like, no. Has this happened to you, Albert? No. Is it like this current moment, is this granny lady asking you like where you were born and where your parents were born and should you be working here in the United States? Like, no. Then what do you worry about? Why are you letting it consume you? Why are you, even at the very least, why are you letting it take up some of your mental real estate? And I was like, dang. And that's when I put myself on check and said, okay, these are low thoughts that I'm having. I'm getting worked up because of something that, like, I shouldn't even be getting worked up about. That's why I was at a low vibration, low attitude. So here comes the low thoughts. And for sure came the low feelings where I started feeling kind of like, no, that's messed up. The poor guy, he's trying to work. So it's low thoughts, low feelings. And I didn't let it get to the low actions. Would have been just mopey, being rude maybe, feeling down and out. I didn't let it get to that. It stopped at the feelings. Started feeling kind of funny. Then after that, I was like, okay, well, I don't like feeling like this. How do I raise my attitude? For me, burpees, push-ups, a quick walk. I was driving. What was I supposed to do? I go to plan B. Gratitude. I just start spitting out everything that I could come up with that I'm genuinely grateful, from the abundance of oxygen, the fact that there's plenty of work, the fact that I have a wonderful family, my fur babies. I have clothes. I had food today. There's plenty of clean water. Just everything. I have a truck, cool ass truck. I love my truck. Everything. I had a conversation with my wife this morning. It was beautiful. I had a bed that I slept on. I woke up, I got to brush my teeth, all that, just going. And of course, it worked. My attitude started going up because of my gratitude. My thoughts started going up, meaning I wasn't thinking that foolishness. I wasn't getting caught up in a story that wasn't mine. And then my actions, well, of course, I just kept on doing my work, going about my daily activity. And I made another video and did my deliveries, did my thing. I was bringing value to the table. Every place that I would go, I was doing high-level actions. Because I had high-level feelings, because I had high-level thoughts, because I raised my attitude. So what I suggest to you, if you ever find yourself getting in a bad mood because of what you see on social media, what you hear in the news, what you see in the news, people are talking about the news, and you start getting all worked up. If you're working on yourself, this is all mindset. This is all mindset training. If you have a high level of consciousness and you're looking at becoming the version of you that you respect and admire, a higher version of you, you got to keep your thoughts in check. Your thoughts are what is guiding your actions. Remember, it's thoughts, feelings, actions. So your thoughts are controlling your feelings are controlling your actions. If you're going to get caught up in poor thoughts because of news that you have no control of, it doesn't mean you ignore and don't know what's going on, current events and other stuff in the news, of course, but don't let it affect your thoughts. If you bring down your thoughts where you're not having a low-level attitude, it's going to control your feelings. Then here comes the poor actions. You're going to run to your vice, or you're going to behave in such a manner where it's going to be a version of you that you don't respect and admire. Maybe you carry yourself away when you get home and you start being mean and rude to your loved ones. And you're whining and complaining. You're making yourself the victim for something that didn't even happen directly to you. Not that you don't care. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is you have to control your thoughts. Keep your thoughts in check. Because this is the life that you're working with. Remember, it's your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, which create your habits and your character, which create your reality. You're messing with your reality here. So, in situations like those, it's like, look, I'm working real hard to create a real beasted up reality. This is the whole mindset, personal development stuff. It's like I cannot afford to have low-level thoughts. That sun is beaming. So be aware of your thoughts. You'll guard those as much as you can. And since we're consistently being just fed social media, the news, the radio, conversations, we hear people in line at the store, at work, we got to be very, very protective and cautious of how we let that information, that news, those conversations affect our thoughts. Because ultimately your thoughts will control your feelings, your actions, your habits, your character, and your reality. This is all mindset. If you got any questions, drop them down in the comments. If you want more information about the Mr. Albert Lopez Mindset Coaching, click the link in the description.